What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is Monty TV. I'm your host, Rattlers, and today we're going to be working on this 1990 240SX. I have this car that belongs to my good friend Nick. We're going to drop his Instagram below. He's complaining about alignment issues. The car doesn't want to drive straight, so I recommended a new rack and pinion, poly rack bushings, and subframe bushings, solid subframe bushings. So over here, we've got all of that. All right, so right here we have the DIF solid subframe bushings. They're really quite nice. They're labeled top and bottom, so you can't mess it up. We'll be showing you how to install those later on in the video. We have these P2M S13 inner and outer tie rods, which are much beefier and a nice upgrade to these S13 tie rods that come factory on this new rack and pinion. We got a new rack and pinion obviously from Rock Auto because, well, ours is shot. It's from 1990 and it's 20 plus years old. And while we're in there installing that, we've got these poly rack and pinion bushings, which will help keep the new rack and pinion in place. So first step I'm going to do is remove the calipers so we can go underneath the vehicle. I'm going to work on basically undoing these e-brake cables and calipers right now, so that's really one of the first things that's going to hang us up when we try and drop the subframe. And then I'm going to remove the 17 millimeter off this coilover lower, and then we're going to work on drive shaft, exhaust, and some other things that might be in the way. So we're gonna remove the exhaust, put the gasket with the bolts, you know where they go. It'll help you out a lot when you're doing jobs like this on the exhaust or transmissions and stuff when you're doing it by yourself. I know a lot of you guys might be doing this at home on your backs, so it's a different situation there. These hangers can be a real pain to get sometimes. Just be patient. It also helps, they make specific pliers for exhaust hanger bushings. Also helps if you have a set of those. I do, but I feel this one going, so I'm trying to do it by hand. It's almost there, guys. We're just old. Here it is, bam. All right, there's that exhaust bushing, and then this one's just a 12 mil. We're gonna hit that 12 mil. Forward brackets, use 12 millimeters. Then we're gonna move on to the drive shaft is the next thing. And there's also some up here. Can you see that? Right above the diff, the front of the diff, there's two 10 millimeters, one on each side that hold the e-brake cables. We're gonna undo those, and then we're gonna undo the e-brake cables from the calipers, and subframe is almost ready to come out. It's actually quite fast. We're basically trying to hold the drive shaft here. I've got it in gear, but it's still just turning the motor and training. We're trying to just break these bolts off. So by me holding it with this bar and these two wrenches gives me a little extra leverage on the nuts. I can break these drive shaft bolts. I'm getting these two 10 millimeters up here that hold the e-brake line. You can see the e-brake line right here. This holds the e-brake line, these little 10 millimeter bolts to the subframe. So there's one on each side. The best thing to use to get them is just a ratcheting 10 millimeter wrench if you have one. If not, a really slim or shallow socket and a 1/4 inch ratchet. But the wrench is better. So this is the e-brake line going into the back of the caliper. You need to remove this line. How to do it is by removing this little metal clip. It's like a little spring clip that just holds the line in place. The best thing to do is use like a screwdriver and just pry them out. So you can see it fell on the ground. And then this cable will actually just slip right up out of there. So I'm gonna drop the coilover off the arms so that it's free. 17 millimeter bolts off, holding the subframe in. Fronts and rears. subframe is loose now, basically. I'm gonna use this jack to bring her down. Woo. Drive shaft just fell down. It's undone. Woo. Thing's trying to fall off here. Gotta make sure the calipers are free. You want to pull the calipers through the arm. Just make sure. Come here, show them this. Just make sure that the calipers pull through the arm right here. Pull them out so that they're sitting on top of the subframe. We're gonna go ahead and bring her down. She's stuck. Front ones. There it is. Now we're gonna take the car up. Now we can work on these subframe bushings. So I'll go ahead and pull this table out here and you guys can really see why we're doing this. So basically what happens is this bushing gets super soft over time and allows the subframe to basically pivot on these bushings and move left to right and front to back. You can see all the stress cracks. Is my light on? See all the cracks in the bushing all the way around it. So it's just time to change them, and going solid completely eliminates the deflection so your alignment can stay true where it's supposed to be when you set it that way. So I honestly might end up burning these out because they're pretty old and they get rusty. We basically need to crush this bushing a little bit and hammer them out essentially so that we can get the new solid ones in there. But the best way sometimes is just to burn the bushing out, which allows you to crush the outer cage. There's like an outer metal sleeve that the bushing is impregnated into, basically like glued into, and we need to crush that sleeve so that we can remove the whole thing. I actually have some bushings over here that I can better explain what I mean. So like, these are bushings I removed from another car, and you can see right here I've crushed it, which shrunk the actual diameter of the bushing and allowed it to just fall out nice and easy. So you can see here it's missing all the rubber and stuff in the middle. So essentially we're probably gonna burn this out and then we're gonna hammer it like that and try and crush it so we can remove the outer sleeve. Yeah, let's get to it. Smack the inner sleeves out, which allows the outer cage to crush a lot easier. You can do it without this and it's honestly cleaner, but you're gonna hammer a whole lot and I don't feel like hammering a whole bunch, so we're just gonna do it the messy way. Sleeve coming out. Still not there yet. No. This thing's hot enough. Then we want to hammer out the inner sleeve. You can see right there. And you should be wearing glasses, guys. I hate glasses, but I should be wearing them. Probably gonna lose an eye one day because of it. You know. Woo. Bye. Crushed this one pretty good, and now so you guys could see I've put in 3 of the 4 upper solid subframe bushings. Got the other one right here, and then this one back here is not finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in there. It's really easy. Just take a rubber mallet and just hammer them in until they're nice and flat. You can see all the way around it. There's no gap. That's what you want. So we're gonna go ahead and now move on to the lowers. Gonna have to try and get these lowers in there a little bit harder. I'm probably honestly gonna use something, a little like a punch. You wanna use a rubber mallet so that you don't mar them up too much and scratch them and stuff. I gotta get like a piece of wood or something to stick in there. So we're gonna go ahead and put the bottom in. Gotta give it one good smack up. Sometimes they can be kind of a pain. You want to try and smack it as evenly as possible, but there it is. All right, so we got the subframe back under the car with the solid subframe bushings in it. You come over here. I'll show you guys kind of the move. So you want to make sure your caliper with the e-brake and everything, e-brake line, is behind this front upper arm and is in between these two going through this pocket. It comes right through here, you know, so as we lower the car down, we'll see that happen. Got stuck on the lock, the lift. You can see that this is dropping into place, and we'll just pull these through. I'm gonna go around to the other side and make that's good. You wanna make sure this clears the control arms as you're bringing it down, your struts, your coilovers, whichever you have. Make sure that falls through, and then we're just gonna keep slowly bringing it down. And I've also got it on a jack right here too, so I can take this thing up as well. But I'm gonna mainly bring the car down to it. So I have the luxury of it being on the lift. And this, keep bringing it up, making sure things are free. Pulling all the brakes through. Up. Might have to move it a little bit. Move forward now, just a little bit. We're almost at that point, I'm telling you, where it's like they're all kind of balanced and equal, you know. See, it just got a little bound up there. So you gotta keep like hammering. If you look in here, we got about 1 inch left before the subframe makes contact with the bottom of the car. I'm just trying to make sure that the subframe is level and square in the car, because they really need to be like perfectly centered going up. And I'm just walking around with a hammer, kind of tapping and helping the car take the subframe. So for example, like this side right here is really stuck. I almost need to put like a jack right here. So I was able to get the subframe in there. There's still about a 1/8 inch gap up here at the top. I have the bolts on it. I'm using the bolts to basically suck it up that last little bit, as well as a little bit of hammering to persuade it to go home. But it's basically in the car. Now we're gonna end up just mounting the coilovers back up, the drive shaft back up, the exhaust, and all the brake components, and torque everything down, and she's gonna be done. So let's get back to working. So you don't have to, but I like to put these factory washers back in. These came out from the original setup when we took it out. I like to throw these back in there. Just helps distribute the load of the bolt. the subframe is officially in and solid. The only thing we got to do is hook up these coilovers now, and the brakes, and those two 10mm, and the drive shaft. So we're going to get to that right now. With this drive shaft, you just put it in place and spin it till the bolt holes line up. You grab your hardware, rope back up there, tighten it down. Tightening the two 10mm bolts that hold the e-brake lines to the subframe right now. Drive shaft is tight. Drive shaft bolts are in. Next thing is going to be these coilovers, which we're going to grab my stand for right here. I'm going to push this lower arm up and the coilover out of the way here. Kind of difficult to do single-handedly, but on your back, you guys are probably going to use a jack. We're going to go with that, put the eyelet in, and then there's that. We can put our little bolt and nut on for our shock, and that shock is on. One shock done. Let's do the other side. All right, now we're doing the other side. Pushing the arm up, coilover on. Now we can back that off, take it down, and the arms will hold itself in place. Got our nut and our washer. The washer has a little flared edge that goes facing outward. Put our nut and bolt on and tighten them down. So I'm trying to reinstall the exhaust here. These hangers push back into their little rubber grommets. We got one up there hanging. I'm gonna take this thing up a little bit. Some more line. So we need it to be. We're gonna put our exhaust gasket in and line flanges up here, exhaust flanges. Go ahead and do that. It's kind of hard to do with all this stuff in your hand. Get one on to hold it, and we'll flip the gasket around and get her in there. Fill up this thing so you can come up more. Into the hole. Yeah. There it is. Once both bolts are in, and let's go ahead and suck it down and get everything all nice and tight. Those are 14s. This is a Greddy exhaust catback. I don't know what your guys' factory ones are. Probably 14s or 12s. Basically, the whole job's been 10, 12, 14, 17 millimeter. The only four sizes you're going to need for this whole job. Let's get those tight. We're almost done here, guys. We're tightening one of the last exhaust hangers right there. And then I'm gonna bring the car down now. I've checked the torque on the coilovers, the subframe, the exhaust, and the drive shaft. And so now the last thing to do is put the brakes back together and put the wheels on. So I'm going ahead and putting in the 14 millimeter bolts. We're gonna take our brake pads and stuff and we're gonna reinstall them. They just slide right in, like that. Make sure the rotor is sitting flush, and then we're gonna install our caliper. So, we're done now. We're gonna go ahead and put the wheels back on. Tighten the wheels up. So, we're just tightening up the lugs right now, getting it seated. You always wanna go in a star pattern when you tighten. Sometimes these lug nut keys are hard to get on. Do a quick little impact, get them twice. And I'll go around and check them and torque them to like 90 or 100. With these, probably 90. Let's go to the other side. I like to always get the threads started by hand so you don't cross thread them. Alright guys, thanks for watching the first part of this video. This is going to wrap up the rear solid subframe install in this 240SX. There is going to be a second part to this video. It's going to be the rack and pinion install with poly bushing, so make sure to watch that, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe button down below, and comment, because I'm curious what you guys have to say. So make sure to keep wrenching, guys, and you know, stay positive and get dirty.